Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma. Our heroes today are going to be Mr. SKTt1Faker. Whatever, playing as the OKW forces in the blue. And his opponent is going to be shadowwada, playing as the US forces in the red. So, I'm just gonna call him Faker, okay? There you go. We see Faker going for the Volksgrenadiers, but starting it off with a Kugelwagen. Kugelwagen, popular choice with the OKW. Nice little car that can cap, and everybody loves a car that can cap. We see shadowwada laying down some wire as he caps. Pretty standard MO. We also saw Faker laying down some wire on this section here, trying to cut off that approach and such. So, you know, both players pretty well accustomed to the things that they need to do. shadowwada opening up with rifles and more rifles. Probably going to follow it up with even more rifles. And we see Faker laying down some wire across that truck. And, actually completing it for once. You can see over this here, he never actually... Well, never mind, he's not going to complete that one. Okay, but it's still there. It still denies the territory. Also following it up with more Volksgrens. And, yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary. We do see disengagement in the center. Rifles and Sturmtigers engaging. The Sturmtigers are going to be finishing their wire here as they move a little bit further back. They're going to be popping probably into the church. Yeah, going to be... fighting against these rifles, and the rifles were able to pop the wire there as it was not finished, and are able to take some heavy cover by the truck, and are still able to fight. So that's nice for them. Did that get changed? Because I used to remember that it was very annoying to even bother shooting at wire, whereas now it seems like you're able to shoot at it and actually take it down relatively quickly. Again, several patches happened while I was away, so I don't know. I kind of skimmed over most of them, but I don't know exactly if it was. So, did they change something on that, or is it just my imagination? So, anyways, Faker going for the supply half track. Going to be building something relatively soon. We do see shadowwada building himself a fighting position down south. Going to be taking some shots as he does, as we do see a rifle squad pushing straight through the center, utilizing the distraction that the guys down here were able to provide as they finish the fighting position. They get a lot of damage at it, even with the small arms fire, which brings it down to less than half health. Gonna be popping a 50 cal on it, but as long as he puts in the rear echelon squad inside, it does have access to those rifle grenades, which allows it. Oh, down goes the storm pilot squad for Faker as another rifle squad pushes forward. That was very, very hurtful there. shadowwada managing to inflict a lot of damage with that simple maneuver. Gonna be repairing that fighting position to try and keep it on the field as long as possible. It is getting upgraded with a 50 cal, so, you know, may as well do that. I can only assume, however, that some type of indirect fire will be coming into play, and we do see the wire here taking that damage and getting cleared out by Mr. shadowwada, which is nice. So the supply half track gonna be popping itself into a battle group headquarters here in the center of the field, a little bit further forward, giving Faker a little nice forward location. Behind the lines, we do see the Kugelwagen going around decapping territory, going for that fuel. shadowwada, however, does have a connection to it, as he does have that center victory point, so you can see here that the line still goes all the way around and manages to give him the fuel. Going to be disconnected now, of course, since it got decapped. But even though he lost this strategic point here, it wasn't actually doing anything against him, so it's kind of nice. So the Kugelwagen's just repositioning itself to the point where it can, you know, just decap the point and do some extra resource damage, I suppose. And the battle group headquarters is finally finished. Going to be providing those Volksgrenadiers with the ability to reinforce on the fly. Nice little positioning there for the sandbags of Faker, covering it against a hedge, making it difficult to access, but also giving him a nice little fortification there with the ability to reinforce on the fly, so able to fight back against the takings of this house, I suppose. And shadowwada takes up to the captain, which is now on the field. So Faker having to basically come from behind, essentially, now with the loss of his Stormpios, not that big a deal, but it is, noticeable here at the start of the game. Going to be building that infantry support gun. No, it does not run like a maniac anymore. That has been addressed. Like I said, when it was happening, it was clearly evident that they were going to fix it as soon as possible. And I think it was like a day turnaround to get that fixed. So, not that bad, all things considered, right? So the Kubel Wagon moving up around. Now, without the Stormpios, the Kubel Wagon really can't do much anymore as far as combat goes, because it doesn't have any ability to repair until a replacement comes into play, or a mechanized regiment headquarters is set down. So for now, I believe Faker will just be simply utilizing it to harass on the capping front, just moving it from side to side, essentially, not being aggressive with it in the fighting degree. So the infantry support gun now on the field, gonna be probably just stationed there next to the battle group headquarters and continuously bombard the fighting position as it, well, it can't move, so it will eventually go down. And we see... What was that? Oh, interesting. Sandbags getting laid down across the already placed debris, kind of, boxes here. They provide light cover, so allowing them to actually have heavy cover. So that's good. So the infantry support gun is placed. Ooh, nice direct shot there on the fighting position. shadowwada realizing, yep, that's my cue to get the hell out of there. I'm not going to be able to stop that from getting destroyed. But I have managed to control the territory in the south for quite a while with that. So all in all, I suppose it is a win, I guess. At the same time, I do have my own pack howitzer on the field, so I will be utilizing that to counter barrage the infantry support gun. So the infantry support gun is forced to move out of the way. Fighting position did take quite a beating, down to very low amounts of health. Rear echelon squad could potentially continue to repair it and potentially keep it on the field. They're not doing so right now because it, of course, is a very risky maneuver to do, seeing as one well-placed shot could actually destroy them all since they're repairing. He is going to take that risk, though, as he is currently counter-barraging and basically providing the infantry support gun an alternative target with which he can engage. Captain popping himself inside the house. I'm going to be getting some bazooka shots flying, and actually manages to destroy the sandbags that were placed there. Nice shots there by the pack howitzer, getting some good shots on the Volksgrenadier squad. And the captain getting some additional bazooka shots going. The infantry section is going to be, not infantry section, the rear echelon squad is going to be popping itself inside that house, which allows it to get rifle grenades going into the house. That's going to be making it easier to clear the house. Down to one man, almost gets cleared out. Might actually lose that Volksgrenadier squad. Yeah, down it goes. A nice little pickup there for shadowwada. Very, very, very nice. And one of the squads is forced to retreat. Second Volksgrenadier squad sitting there in front of all the allied infantry. Unable to do too much against them. Going to be forced to retreat. We do have, of course, a steward on the field for Mr. shadowwada, pushing aggressively against that battle group headquarters. There is a rocket warper up in the field, up in the north. Gets a good shot there on the steward. However, it is unable to seal the deal, as it is getting assaulted here by the rifles inside that house. The steward will be trying his best it can to push back the tide of infantry. However, there is a Shrek on the field. One good Shrek on that squad could actually take it out. Ooh, down goes the steward. Unfortunate there for shadowwada as he overstays his welcome essentially a little bit too long, and down it goes. Fighting position is still online. Still at about 75% strength. Will fall quickly to the infantry support gun. However, it is currently engaged in a counter barrage fight. No, actually, now it is focusing on that guy. shadowwada did pop his Doctrine, and that is the heavy cavalry company, which allows it to call in the Rangers, and of course later on the Prussian heavy infantry. We haven't seen Rangers being utilized too much in 1v1s, which is unfortunate, but they're now there. They do have their carbines, but of course they have access to the 4 times Thompson submachine guns. So yeah, basically they can get 4 Tommy guns. Fighting position does go down to 1 man on the rear echelon squad. Will be retreating, but it did stay alive, so that's nice for it. Kubel Wagon still on the field over on the left-hand side. Does have access to the Stormpios now, which is nice. But I feel like shadowwada may have actually not handled that situation that well. Still has the lead as far as army value goes, but I feel like he may have lost control of the situation a little bit too much. I think the steward needed to live. Looks like his objective was, of course, to assault the battle group headquarters and potentially take it out. That's why he had the captain, and he pushed with the steward. But once he had to retreat with the troops, I think he just needed to get out of there and, at this point, be in great shape if he had a steward that he could be moving around with and being very aggressive with. Thompson submachine guns getting popped on those Rangers. Rangers pushing forward, going to be trying to kill that Kholodny. Kholodny barely managing to make it out of there. The infantry support gun is going to be taking some point-blank shots there at the approaching Rangers, but the Rangers will be able to get right on top of it. Rangers do have access to grenades, remember? They are currently focusing down on the Sturmtigers. The Sturmtigers will be taken out here if they don't get the hell out of the way. They do get the hell out of the way and manage to not get taken out. And the Rangers do lose some members and are forced to retreat. Volksgrenadiers going to be getting some additional shots going on them, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem, as the Pack Howitzer takes some shots into the battle group headquarters sector, trying to do as best they can to clear troops, but they're a little bit all over the place. Captain moving up, trying to capture that point. Will be doing so, but it takes some return fire from the infantry support gun. And up in the north, rifles just sitting around. Did they lay down a mine? No. I mean, they can now with their Doctrine, but well, we'll see. Far north, rear echelon squad capping. Below them, we have Volksgrenadiers and rifles engaging in this house, although none of them want to be shooting at these rifles, apparently. They're kind of focusing on that side. What's their facing set? I think you can only do that with weapons, can't you? Oh well. And we do see the Juer Panzer headquarters coming online for Faker, as he So center map rifles pushing themselves into very bad position there, getting shot up and forced to retreat. More rifles coming up behind them, trying to fight the troops inside the church up in the north. We also saw a rifle squad retreating. And everything is just going to have to get the hell out of there. Kholodny currently firing at the rear echelon squad in the far north. It's going to have to retreat quickly, as there is, of course, a Volksgrenadier squad in the way. However, they're relatively healthy, so they should be fine on the retreat. Rangers pushing out. Pack Howitzer trying as best it can to flush out from the church. And we see the rifles vaulting over that fence, trying to put themselves into a better angle against these Volksgrenadiers, deciding, wait, no, the better angle was inside the church. No, actually behind the church. No, inside the church. There you go. A little bit undecisive, but now they do. So the Pack Howitzer is getting some good shots there on the Volksgrenadiers. Nothing direct, but doing a little bit of splash damage. A well-placed shot could actually take out the entire squad there, but that's going to hit the front. Gets a kill on one of them, but not too much. Shrek's flying into the house. Infantry support gun also nailing the house itself, taking a lot of damage in there. Yeah, that was too far down, hitting the debris of the Panzer IV. And the rifles are forced to pop out of that church because they have no protection, not even from God. So the Schwer Panzer headquarters has gone down, has a decent range here as it covers the munitions, as well as a partial part of that fuel. They can actually shoot a little bit further than that, so kind of like around here, almost half, but yeah. And yeah. Sandbags trying to get cleared here by these rifles as they're just dancing around shooting at it. Sandbags proving to be a little bit more annoying than a wire to be shot down. The rifles are going to be moving themselves into different angles. Rifles do have access to the bars now, so they're able to get the bars. This rifle squad up in the north going to be having to take some cover here by the sandbags to try and control that victory point. Wow. Anyways, a little bit of a passive little lull here in the fight. Kholodny still on the field. Can pop its detection if it wanted to. It's able to see units in the minimap essentially. So, we see Faker sending some troopers down into the southern sections. Minesweepers are keep up these storm piles, managing to spot that M5 mine in the middle of the crossroads. However, they are caught in a bit of a tough spot there and are unable to clear it out. It's going to be switching out of their sweepers to engage the Rangers. Rangers getting right on top of the storm piles. Currently besting them with their SMGs. Storm piles forced to retreat. They are going to be retreating into the battle group headquarters. Oh, nasty shot there, flying into the center from the not the AT gun. That was the pack howitzer, I'm pretty sure. Nope, guess not, which is the captain. Yep, captain managing to land the crushing or killing blow there on that Kubel wagon, and down it goes for Faker as shadowwada moves it back into the fight. Rifles pushing forward, losing some of their members here. I think the pack howitzer might have actually been the one to kill those. No, looks like the Volksgrenadier squad took the credit for that one. Orbital Soldaten on the field for Faker. They are going to be getting upgraded with their LMGs. No Doctrine selection for Faker just yet. The rifles trying to close the distance. They are going to get right on top of those Orbital Soldaten. They don't have their LMGs just yet, so this is an excellent opportunity to shoot. And they do, managing to force it back quickly. But it is a very short retreat path, as well, it's right there. Big push, big assault going here into the center. Pack howitzers and infantry support guns trying their best they can to clear out all the enemies, but this is an easier win for Faker, as he does have essentially defender's advantage with that reinforcement radius and location. So shadowwada push as much as he can. He's not going to be able to break this location. He would need a superb series of hits by his pack howitzers, just clearing troops left and right. Does get an incendiary or white phosphorus barrage going into the territory of the battle group headquarters, so that's nice. Quite ingenious, but won't be able to do too much. So Obersoldaten and Storm Piles being forced to retreat into the zone of the white phosphorus. Unable to do too much as far as clearing damage. Storm Pile squad, oh, barely manages to keep themselves alive as it does get reinforced. And the Rangers are forced to retreat, so very nice, very valiant attempt there by shadowwada, but yeah. Like I said, it was going to be very difficult for him to win that. He did manage to inflict a lot of damage and a lot of manpower damage. But, yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough when they have a bit of an entrenched position that provides reinforcement. Ooh, rifle squad in the center almost gets taken out there, especially on the retreat as the infantry support gun keeps getting some good shots in there. Really only one good shot, but, I mean, it did something. Wow. Rakuten Warfare actually has 6 infantry kills. Jeez. Bing! That's a funny sound there as the Shredder Panzer headquarters is currently getting assaulted there by the pack howitzer. Stone Piles forced to retreat from the south. Once again, the mine is still left there, so it's still a threat. I'm sure Faker knows about it, but shadowwada is just making it a little bit difficult for him to take it. Pack howitzer has taken some damage. It's going to be in need of reinforcements sooner rather than later. Major now on the field. We'll see if shadowwada decides to set up a forward retreat spot himself. Does have the ambulance already in play. Currently back at base, just healing up everything to retreats, but we'll see. And the Obersoldaten push into the center, able to really deal with all the American infantry without much of an issue. Up in the north, Volksgrenadiers being utilized to cap. Victory points 242 to 441. Currently in the lead for shadowwada, getting himself a 200-point lead, essentially. So that puts him in a very, very advantageous position. Very nice and safe. And with the Major on the field, we see shadowwada starting to build up his vehicle force, coming up with a Sherman. Sheriff Panzer headquarters has been down for a while, though, of course, with the Obersoldaten in play. But he doesn't have fuel for really much anything. Could maybe go for the Panzer IV, 150. Jagdpanzer doesn't seem to make much sense, although now that the Sherman is coming out, I suppose it would be pretty good at killing that. but...
Tank support is here.
Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong amount of fuel. There it is. 244. So he does have more than enough. Huh, interesting. So Faker goes for the Elite Armor Doctrine. Okay, that's pretty cool. Does give him access to the end at the end with the Sturmtiger. Does not have the... Well, he does not have the manpower for it. Has the fuel, so maybe he's going to go for that. If he does, looks like we're going to be going deaf for several times, I guess. So the Sherman coming onto the field. It's going to make a big splash here, especially with its high explosive shots. Getting some shots going there on the Obersoldaten. Oh, nasty shot there. Destroys the sandbag, and the Obersoldaten are down to 2 men. Forced to retreat. Shrek's moving up. Shrek's really being the only... Oh, nasty shot. Oh, and the pack howitzer nails it on the retreat. Down goes the Volksgrenadier squad for Faker, and now he is not in good shape. Rocket the Warfare is moving up under Cloak, trying to see if we can get a shot going there on the Sherman, but shadowwada, knowing that he can't really keep the Sherman out there that long, or he's going to get torn to shreds. Shreks, even though there is only 1 per squad, they are quite deadly to the Sherman. And, yeah. Quick repairs going down as he pops the crew and the rear echelon squad to try and get that back in working order. And the pack howitzer trying to move its way out of the range of that infantry support gun as it gets another shot going, and it's trying its best to clear it out.
Stand ready, squad.
Rangers now with 9 kills pushing forward. What did they get for veterancy? Ability to recharge quicker, so I'm assuming it's just a grenade. Obersoldaten doing a lot of damage, but getting cleared out. And let's see. Grenade range, weapon accuracy. Oh, and they can heal while out of combat. That's a nice veterancy 2 buff. Rangers now going to be forced to retreat as they sit in front of the rifles of the Stormpile squads. Sherman moving back, trying to get its best shots as it can with its high explosive rounds, but missing wildly. Rifle squad in the center forced to retreat. Stormpile still pushing forward. AT guns and Sherman trying as best they can. Did the AT gun actually nail somebody there? Wow, yeah, that was actually an AT gun shot. Managing to kill one of the Stormpiles. Rifle squad's pushing forward, right on top of those Volksgrenadiers. They only have 1 anti-infantry weapon with the Shrek there, so Rifles could potentially take out the squad, but it looks like it's barely going to make it out of there. And we now have the Sturmtiger on the field. Rifles instantly retreating, the Sherman instantly backing off. AT gun, everybody moving the hell out of the way as they know that nobody can stop the Sturmtiger, not on time at least. Sherman going to be trying to draw the fire of the Sturmtiger. The Sturmtiger does take a shot, cancels the shot, takes a shot, cancels the shot, takes a shot, and there goes the rocket flying at the AT gun, and down it goes. Clears the weapon almost in its entirety, and the Sherman manages to stay alive and get the hell out of there, but Sturmtiger took quite a beating there. And even the captain manages to get some shots on the side. Sturmtiger needs to reload the weapon. Oh, interesting. So when you start reloading the Sturmtiger, the crew moves out. You know, starts loading everything back in, but that means that it can actually be killed. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. So yeah, so making sure that you're not reloading in combat, it exposes them, and if they get killed, the vehicle would get abandoned and could be recruited. So that's pretty cool. That's ingenious. That actually fits rather well. It's a nice little vulnerability to a very, very powerful weapon. So the AT gun is getting healed up here and going to be recruited. The Sherman did stay on the field, currently heading up to the north. Going to be trying to clear these. What is it doing? Shrek shot flies there at the Sherman. Sherman takes it like a champ. Manages to miss everybody here. And it's going to try and crush the Volksgrens, but doesn't manage to do so. However, it does push him enough that they are unable to get another shot going. And then with the push here of the rifles, they're really unable to do too much. Sturmtiger now back online. Goes a shot. Nope, manages to cancel that before it goes off. The Sherman and the AT gun. Oh, the AT gun is going to get targeted once again. AT-gun getting some shots going there on the Sturm. Oh my god, that's an amazing shot by the Sturmtiger. Down goes the Sherman in one big ass explosion. The rifle's taking some splash damage there as the Sturmtiger now going to be moving its way back. Racket Warfare does get a little bit caught there out of position. However, the Schwerpanzer headquarters is able to provide some support. Shadowwada does build himself a Persian heavy tank now on the field, and maybe, I don't think he's going to do that, but may even be wanting to go hunting for things. Rifle squad does get cleared out here up in the north. We see a bar getting dropped onto the field. Nice. The Rangers actually managed to pick that up, so they now have 4 Tommy guns and a bar. Pretty badass. Weapon accuracy and survivability, control, all that goes up. Nice. Racket Warfare going to be trying as best it can against the Persian. Actually, it does rather well. It has a decent amount of penetration. 10 seconds left against the Persian. That's actually very, very risky here for the Persian. They're going to try and see if they can clear. Yeah, there goes the Schwerpanzer headquarters. So it seems to be worth it here. As the flank does get open, the captain, everything is going to be having to move back. The AT gun does get cleared out, so that's a bad news there for Shadowwada, as he is going to be losing that AT gun. The Persian also trying to move itself into a better position is... Ooh, that was very close. Taking a shot, but manages to deflect it there. And the Persian stays alive. Could have actually gone down, and that would have spelled disaster for Shadowwada. The Sturmtiger is back online. The weapon has been reloaded, and it's ready to shoot. 10 kills so far. The AT gun itself is still left there. It looks like maybe he's just going to be destroying it rather than recrewing it himself.
Our supply line just got cut off.
And we see the Racket Warfare, Obersoldaten, and Sturmpios moving down to the south as we see a big flood of infantry moving out with them. Captain trying to get some osmosis type of veterancy, as it does get veterancy through proximity. Sturmtiger going to be pushing forward. There goes the shot. Shot into the center. That's a weird shot. Nope, manages to cancel that as he realizes nobody's going to be there. And the captain is forced to retreat as the Stormpios do get a good angle on them. Rifle squad being forced to move back and forth as nobody really knows when the Sturmtiger is going to take its shot. So it's a very, very risky maneuverings going on for Shadowwada. As Faker goes ahead and builds himself another supply half-track. Is he going to be replacing his Schwerpanzer headquarters, or is he going to be dropping the Mechanized Regiment? Mechanized Regiment would help him to automatically repair the Sturmtiger, making sure that it's always full strength. And of course give him access later on to the King Tiger, but maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. So up in the north, looks like the AT gun does get recruited again by these rifles. However, it does get taken out by the Obersoldaten. It's just lying in wait. Opportunistic types of attacks. The Sturmtiger pushes forward again. And the Persian kind of relegated here to demolition crew, trying as best it can to just destroy these sandbags that are on his path. Seemingly unable to do so. Obersoldaten moving up to the north, 146 to 345. So Shadowwada still holds a 200-point lead. So while it is a difficult situation for him to deal with that Sturmtiger, it's, you know, it's not entirely a bad situation. So no, looks like a Schwerpanzer headquarters is just going to be going down once again. It looks like Faker definitely wants to be able to control this territory against the infantry and such, positioning it in a bit of a different angle, still covering this point, now getting a little bit more on the field in the north. So it's quite nice for him. Sturmtiger seemingly wanting to throw a barrage. No, deciding against it. Just nice control there for Faker on the canceling of the ability, because, you know. Bit of a risky maneuver there, though, trying to shoot across this house. It could just as easily hit it, but maybe he has tried it and it does go through. Captain rushing forward as he does have that veteran ability. Spotting the Sturmtiger. Sturmtiger trying to take a shot at the captain. The captain just moves out of the way and retreats. Trying to bait it looks like. He's trying to see if he can bait out a shot. Stormpile's up in the north, retreating. Or, well, the northern side of the center, really. Barely managing to make it out of there. We see the Pershing pushing forward. The Sturmtiger going to be trying to get a shot off on it. How damaging is the shot against the Pershing? Oh, incredibly damaging as it goes down in one shot. Oof, oof. Faker is just... Oh, that was painful. Would have assumed that maybe he would have been able to take a shot, but I mean, it's a big-ass rocket, so... Yeah, shadowwada now having to back off. Seemingly unable to deal with that Sturmtiger. Sturmtiger going to be getting repaired here by the Stormpiles as they also get reinforced themselves. And there are... It's difficult to deal with the rocket and warfare and such, but yeah, I mean, jeez. Jesus. Up north, rifles and rear echelons are pushing forward together, trying to stop these Volksgrens as they were laying down some sandbags. Jackson is on the field there for shadowwada to see if he can maybe deal with that troop. The major, though, is going to be taken out here in the center as it tries to run the gauntlet through a lot of troops, but the Obersoldaten, I mean, they're just too good. They're just going to shoot him down on the retreat. Rocket and warfare moving up in cloak, trying to put itself into a better angle.
A capture point is under attack.
Gonna be trying to decap that point. And we see the Sturmtiger gonna be taking the shot at probably like back there. Oh, oh, and that's game. Shadowwada instantly just closes it. Yeah, Sturmtigers are pretty fucking badass when used right. 21 kills and 2 vehicles destroyed. Jeez. This guy actually kind of lucky to be alive there. The AT gun actually survived. Well, there you go, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.